Hello everyone, today I'm going to do a quick video on something that maybe some newcomers into 112 scale might not understand completely. And that is, you'll see on setup sheets and in manuals that will say just springs touching. And so that could mean a lot of things. Touching under how much pressure is it? Do I apply quite a bit of load on to the springs when to touch the plate, or what exactly do I need to do? So this video is just going to quickly demonstrate and just show you guys exactly what it means. So what I've done, and this is actually a really neat way of doing it, is just flipping your car upside down. And so right now the pod is facing upwards to the ceiling. And what I've done is I've disconnected the damper tubes. So this will give you a better visual of what's going on. And generally you want to take off the damper tubes when you do this to check to see if your springs are touching. Now, as you can see here, right in the frame, you have the spring in position, and this is your pod plate right here. And what I'm going to do is just simply flick it back and forth, just like move it around. And I'm just going to let it settle. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to carefully, as you can see here, I'm in a position where I can see the spring making, hopefully making contact with the lower pod plate. What I'm going to do is just simply just move the pod a little bit and just look at the spring and see if it's compressing. As you can see, it is compressing. And then I will go the opposite direction. I'll just move the pod a bit around, and then I will go and I will lift it off. As you can see here, there's no tension being put onto the pod plate. So once again, I will just kind of slightly put pressure. As you can see, the spring is moving just also slightly, but as I lift off, it's just barely touching the pod plate. So one thing you will need to take a look at is making sure that the springs that you're using, your side springs, are not bent or deformed in any way, because this can kind of affect the process when you're checking for to see whether or not the springs are touching, just touching the pod plate. Generally speaking, you want to run this kind of setup for most situations. I know there are some guys that will add a quarter of a turn or half a turn onto the spring to add a bit of preload, which from my understanding will make the car a little bit more stable and easier to drive, but correct me if I'm wrong. But there you have it. What you can do is you see on this one side here, you can do it on the other side as well. And yeah, it's just a quick and easy way to check to see whether or not your springs are touching your pod. All right, I hope this was helpful, and yeah, happy racing. Bye-bye.